I can tell you that doll I recognize very well. The wallpaper I do remember very well. It's been replicated.
Millions flock to Graceland, the king's iconic mansion. But there's a whole floor strictly off-limits. Whispers swirl. A hidden room, a tragic accident? The truth is even stranger. Prepare to be chilled as we delve into the disturbing reason nobody dares set foot upstairs in Elvis's Presley's Graceland. Buckle up, because this ain't just rock and roll history. It's a mystery that'll leave you shook. Graceland is more than just where Presley lived. The upper floors of Graceland are off-limits to everyone, including the president. In point of fact, in the entire span of time that has passed since Elvis's passing, there have been only 2 individuals who have deviated from the norm. Any traveler who is in Memphis should make it a point to stop by Graceland, the famed home of Elvis Presley Jr. The White House is the most visited home in the United States, but Graceland is one of the most frequented homes in the country, with as many as 500,000 people visiting it each year. The website gives visitors the opportunity to participate in a guided tour with other people, or to go on their own journey with the assistance of an iPad. The acreage, the home itself, and even Presley's prized collection of automobiles are all available for tourists to view and appreciate. However, Graceland is more than just the place where Elvis Presley did his living. Moreover, it is the location of his burial. The singer's father, Vernon, made the decision to relocate both Elvis and his mother, Gladys, from their original burial spot to Graceland after receiving threats from vandals and a number of attempts to steal the king of rock and roll. Graceland currently also contains the graves of Elvis Presley's father and his grandmother, Minnie Mae Presley. Additionally, there is a memorial commemorating Presley's twin brother, Jesse, who was born but did not survive. Alongside her son, Benjamin Keogh, who took his own life in the year 2020, Presley's daughter, Lisa Marie Presley, is laid to rest at Graceland. Graceland is now synonymous with Elvis Presley, despite the fact that it is in fact a spot where he is buried. He did not originate the name of the property, nor was he the initial owner of the property. The S.E. Toff family formerly possessed a larger property that encompassed 500 acres, and the 14-acre estate was once a portion of that larger property. The mansion was constructed in 1939, and the property was given the name of a member of the family that owned the land at the time. Ruth Brown Moore and Dr. Thomas Moore were in possession of the house when it was first built. Although they are not the most renowned people to ever call Graceland home, the Moore family was the first to make it a home for musicians. In their day, the Moore family was highly known in Memphis. As a member of the Memphis Symphony Orchestra, their daughter played the harp instruments. Presley bought Graceland fairly early in his career. In 1957, when Elvis Presley was still very young in his career, he purchased Graceland for approximately $102,000, which is equivalent to slightly under $1 million today. Presley had a prosperous year leading up to the acquisition, during which he had made a number of appearances on television and benefited from sales of his records. The development of his second film, titled Loving You, was well underway at the time, and he was also getting ready to make the transition to the big screen. Presley increased the size of the mansion from its initial 10,000 square feet to approximately 17,000 square feet over his lifetime so that it could accommodate more people. Despite the fact that it was still the king's private house, it was frequently visited by a large number of friends and family members, some of whom traveled to other facilities on the property to remain outside of the mansion. Both the house and its construction date back to the early 90s. The house was constructed in the years. Additionally, the first floor of the home was located on the second floor. Graceland was opened to the general public a few years after Elvis Presley's passing away. With the exception of presidents and high-ranking officials from other countries, one section of Graceland has remained completely off-limits to tour groups ever since the first tour groups visited the house in 1982. Presley's master suite is situated on the second story of Graceland, and even during his lifetime, it was a limited area on that floor. This is the rationale that has been offered. Those who were closest to the extremely famous musician were the only ones who were allowed to enter this location, which was one of the few spots where he could gain some privacy. It is important to note that this is not the only element. It is well known that Elvis Presley passed away in the bathroom that is located right off the master suite. This is one of the primary reasons why no one, with the exception of Presley's immediate family, is permitted to enter the upper level of the house. Since the moment Elvis Presley exhaled his last breath, the structure's inside has not changed in any way. There is a risk that guests will have a greater interest in the area. Since the moment Elvis Presley exhaled his last breath, the structure's inside has not changed in any way. Under the moniker Chewy Thompson, being an influencer on Instagram, an employee who was disguised came up to this individual and led him upstairs while they were on a tour of Elvis Presley's home. During the process of unlocking the doors and hanging a curtain, he was accompanied by a large number of security personnel as they climbed the stairs. It is not known what would motivate him to go up to the upper floor. It was reported that the worker informed Chewy Thompson that the moment had come. What really makes you ponder is whether or not this individual is Elvis Presley's grandchild. Despite the fact that it has been reported that Elvis only had one grandson, it is not a lie that he was a ladies' man. This means that it is likely that he had further children beyond Chewy Thompson, but they were never discussed. Many individuals on tour have reported hearing multiple voices upstairs while Thompson was there, which has led to an increase in the amount of speculation that Elvis Presley is still alive. Since this day, Thompson has made several visits going upstairs. It is a very intriguing theory that Chewy Thompson is Elvis Presley's grandchild and that he is going to pay a visit to Elvis Presley, who is 90 years old. Although Chewy Thompson has never stated that he is linked with the Presleys, this hypothesis is pretty intriguing. The second person to go upstairs in Graceland was Nicolas Cage. One of the most devoted followers of Elvis Presley is the actor Nicolas Cage. In an interview, he even referred to the iconic singer as his hero, yet he has had unique access to the celebrity, which millions of other people would never have the opportunity to experience in their lifetime. The celebrity from Hollywood was married to Lisa Marie, Elvis's daughter, and she gave him permission to enter the room on her own will. In addition to Cage and the star's immediate family, he is one of the few persons who has been able to have a glimpse inside the bedroom that he occupied at Graceland after he went away. In light of the fact that so few individuals have really been inside in real life, this boast is just astonishing. As a result of the fact that Graceland does not permit tours, films, photographs, or even casual visitors into his bedroom, the mystery that surrounds it is astounding. Nicolas Cage even sent a special request to see inside from former President Bill Clinton, but he was denied access. As a result, Nicolas Cage was able to outdo him in this regard. The continued cultural relevance of Graceland is just another fascinating facet of the iconic property. Graceland is more than just a museum that is dedicated to Elvis Presley. It is also a monument to the widespread appeal and influence that his music has had throughout the years. It is a location where admirers from all over the world may connect with the spirit of Elvis and immerse themselves in his legacy, and it has become a pilgrimage spot for those who are followers of Elvis. At the same time, Graceland is a reflection of the development of celebrity culture. During his lifetime, Elvis Presley achieved a level of recognition and adulation that was unmatched by any other celebrity. He was one of the first modern celebrities. The distinction between his public persona and his private life is blurred by the fact that his home, with its extravagant furnishings and personal possessions, provides a view into the private life of a superstar. At the beginning of the 1970s, the city was a location where individuals could discover their own personal lives, and it was also a place where the art of art was a part of the life of the city itself for those who lived there. Moreover, Graceland is a representation of both preservation and nostalgia in and of itself. Graceland is a time capsule that has been kept in the 1970s, locked in time to honor the memory of its famous tenant. This is a place that exists in a world that is always changing. The interior of Graceland, including the second story, has been meticulously preserved, ensuring that future generations will have the opportunity to experience the essence of Elvis Presley's life and the eras in which he lived. The conclusion is that Graceland is more than just a house. In honor of Elvis Presley's enduring legacy, this structure serves as a living monument. The fact that it is a museum, a tourist attraction, and a cultural symbol guarantees that the spirit of Elvis will continue to enchant audiences for many years to come. A button that allowed Elvis Presley to call for his preferred food or beverages was a one-of-a-kind feature that was found in the upstairs quarters of Graceland, which is another fascinating part of the room. Through the use of this button, which was situated next to his bed and connected to the kitchen downstairs, Elvis was able to make requests for his chosen delicacies whenever he desired. The extravagant lifestyle that Elvis led and his taste for luxury are both highlighted by this peculiar fact. Elvis Presley lived at Graceland like a king, surrounded by wealth and comfort, despite the fact that he came from a modest background. The existence of such a button is indicative of his insatiable need for ease and pleasure, which enables him to take pleasure in the more refined aspects of life with more ease. In addition to that, the button serves as a reminder of the charity and hospitality that Elvis showed. He had a reputation for being generous and generously sharing his fortune with his friends, family, and even strangers. He was known for his extravagant gestures. The button most likely represented his willingness to make certain that everyone in his immediate vicinity was well taken care of and had access to whatever it was that they required. In general, the button that is located in the upstairs rooms of Elvis Presley is a demonstration of his larger-than-life personality, as well as the legendary fame that he achieved during his existence. At the same time, it is a peculiar yet moving detail that contributes to the mystique of Graceland and the continuing legacy of the rock and roll king. Elvis Presley was known for his nocturnal lifestyle. It was common for Elvis Presley to spend the entire night in his bedroom at Graceland, which contributed to his reputation as a nocturnal individual. A portion of his evening routines could be attributed to the fact that his job schedule frequently included late-night recording sessions and performances. Elvis, on the other hand, found the nighttime to be a time of inspiration and creativity, and he cherished the peace and quiet of the night. Elvis Presley had a television set up in his bedroom so that he could have the opportunity to watch films or shows during the night. During these late hours, he would also read from his collection of books, which he had prepared in advance. This nocturnal lifestyle eventually became a part of his habit, and in order to compensate for the late evenings the majority of the time, he would frequently sleep throughout the day. The activities that Elvis did during the evenings were not restricted to merely providing entertainment. Rather, he frequently made advantage of this time to connect with his friends and family members who came to see him at Graceland. Elvis Presley was able to relax and unwind at these late-night parties, which provided him with an opportunity to escape the responsibilities of his public existence. A further factor that added to Elvis's mystique was his nighttime lifestyle. The combination of his captivating demeanor and the late-night activities he continued to engage in contributed to the aura of mystery that surrounded him. Fans and friends alike were charmed by his magnetic presence during these late-night hours, resulting in the formation of memories that would remain with them for the rest of their lives. Elvis Presley's midnight performance in general observations made in the bedroom of the King of Rock and Roll at Graceland provide a look into the private world of the rock and roll legend. They portray a man who was not only a music icon but also a multifaceted individual who treasured his moments of alone and thought during the silent hours of the night. He considered these times to be the most important in his life. It was common knowledge among people who were close to Elvis Presley that he had excellent sleeping habits, particularly his capacity to sleep for extended periods of time. Elvis Presley was known to sleep for extended amounts of time, often up to 14 hours per day, especially after late-night activities or during periods of rest. This was also the case despite the fact that he had a nocturnal lifestyle. Because of his propensity to sleep deeply and for extended periods of time, it is possible that he was able to recharge his batteries and recover from the hard schedule he had. As a performer, Elvis frequently expended a great deal of energy during his concerts and recording sessions. Hence, it was essential for his health and well-being that he had sufficient rest between performances. In order to provide Elvis with a comfortable and relaxing environment, the bedroom at Graceland was created with soft furniture and a warm and inviting ambiance. The quality of his sleep was important to him. Therefore, he made it a point to establish a calm atmosphere that would enable him to relax at the end of a hard day. Elvis was known to be approachable and accessible in many ways, including his desire for rest and relaxation, despite the fact that he was famous and wealthy. In the view of his followers, the fact that he was able to sleep deeply and for extended periods of time made him more approachable. This demonstrated that even the rock and roll giant required his beauty sleep. In general, the sleeping patterns of Elvis Presley offer a window into his private life and provide a fresh viewpoint on the guy who was the inspiration for his songs during his lifetime. It is a testament to his self-discipline and dedication to his profession that he is able to maintain a healthy balance between his rigorous work schedule and periodic intervals of rest and leisure. Elvis's girlfriends were given access to his upstairs area. Not only did Elvis Presley use the room on the upper floor of Graceland as a private hideaway for himself, but he also used it as a place to bring his girlfriends. Elvis was considered to be a romantic at heart, and he frequently enjoyed spending time with his partners in his personal quarters. This was accomplished despite the fact that his romantic connections were shrouded in mystery. Elvis's girlfriends were granted access to the part of his home located on the second floor, which enabled them to share private moments away from the scrutiny of the public. In spite of the frantic nature of his lifestyle, Elvis's need for camaraderie and connection was demonstrated by these visits. Because of his renown and the continual attention he received, Elvis was able to experience a sense of solitude and closeness that was uncommon for him in the upstairs area. It gave him the opportunity to unwind and be himself with his partners, free from the constraints that his public character imposed on him. It was not uncommon for Elvis to keep his personal relationships a secret. But the upstairs portion of Graceland provided him with the opportunity to cultivate these relationships. Because it was a place where he could be vulnerable and express his feelings, he was able to reveal a different part of himself to the people who were important to him. Overall, Elvis Presley's upstairs area at Graceland functioned as a getaway for both himself and his girlfriends, providing a glimpse into the personal life of the music legend behind closed doors. Graceland was located in Memphis, Tennessee. Additionally, Lisa Marie Presley, who was Elvis Presley's daughter, possessed a bedroom in the space located on the upper floor of Graceland. It is a testament to her time spent at the estate that her bedroom, along with the rest of the area located on the upper floor, has been preserved. Because Lisa Marie is the daughter of a music legend, her bedroom is a reflection of her one-of-a-kind background. The room is decorated in a manner that is appropriate for a little girl who was growing up in the 1970s and 1980s. The room features fun and whimsical accents as well as brilliant colors. The book provides an insight into her life at Graceland, where she spent time with her father and other members of her family throughout her youth. In addition, the bedroom that Lisa Marie resides in acts as a reminder of the strong relationship that she had with her father, who is the sole owner of the mansion currently. According to the Los Angeles Times, Graceland's maintenance costs increased to approximately $480,000 each year after Elvis's passing. In response to the high prices associated with real estate, Priscilla devised a strategy to transform the situation into a lucrative business opportunity. Her goal was to transform Graceland into a museum and develop it into a popular tourist destination, so she appointed a chief executive officer. In 1982, Graceland opened its doors to the general public, and it continues to draw approximately 300,000 visitors throughout the year. The second story, which is where Elvis's body was found when he was declared dead in 1977, is off-limits to visitors. Visitors are not permitted on the second floor. Priscilla Presley gave birth to their daughter Lisa Marie Presley in 1968. Lisa Marie Presley spent her early years at Graceland until her parents divorced in 1972, at which point she relocated to California with her mother. All during her childhood, she would pay her visits on a regular basis. As the sole trustee of her late mother's estate, actress and filmmaker Riley Keough, who is also Elvis Presley's granddaughter and the eldest of Lisa Marie Presley's 3 daughters, is the owner of Graceland, the Memphis mansion that Elvis Presley purchased after he became the king of rock and roll in 1957. Due to the fact that they are still in their teenage years, Lisa Marie's other and surviving children, the twins Harper and Finley Lockwood, are unable to serve as trustees of the estate. A settlement between Keough and her grandmother, Priscilla Presley, Lisa Marie's mother, and Michael Lockwood, Lisa Marie's ex-husband, the father and court-appointed guardian of the twins, who are Keough's half-siblings, was reached in June 2023 in Los Angeles Superior Court. This settlement resulted in Keough's status being confirmed. L.M. Presley passed away on January 12, 2023, at the age of 54. Since the passing of her mother, Keough has been an active promoter of Graceland. She has been nominated for an Emmy in the category of Best Actress for her work in the Amazon Prime series Daisy Jones and the Six, and she also appears opposite Lily Gladstone in the Hulu crime drama Under the Bridge. Keough has also hosted a live NBC Christmas special at the mansion, which featured performances by artists such as Lana Del Rey and Post Malone. A foreclosure auction that was supposed to take place on Graceland in May 2024 and was undertaken by an organization that called itself Nausani Investments was canceled because, according to members of the Presley family, it was constructed on fake paperwork. Elvis always has time for his daughter. Despite the fact that Elvis was famous and had a packed schedule, he made time for his daughter, generating memories that will last a lifetime and are still treasured today. The bedroom serves as a tribute to the love that they shared and the relationship that they had. The bedroom that Lisa Marie occupied during her time at Graceland is now included in the Graceland Tour, which gives guests the opportunity to see where she resided during her time there. It serves as a heartfelt tribute to her role in the Presley family, as well as her relationship to Graceland, which continues to be a vital part of her life. Taking everything into consideration, the bedroom that Lisa Marie Presley occupies in the upper level of Graceland serves as a powerful reminder of her upbringing and the relationship that she has with her father. This book provides a unique and personal look into the life of the Presley family, as well as the memories that they made at their cherished home. The final 24 hours of Elvis Presley's life were peppered with a variety of everyday activities as well as moments of rest. On the 15th of August, 1977, Elvis began his day in a manner that was not dissimilar to any other day. He went to Graceland to spend time with his lover, Ginger Alden. They had a delicious breakfast together before Elvis went to his racquetball court to play a few games, which was a regular part of his routine to maintain his physical fitness. Following the conclusion of his racquetball match, Elvis went back to Graceland, where he spent time with Ginger and the rest of his family. After retiring for the day, he went to his bedroom located on the second floor, where he continued to unwind and relax. On the morning of August 16th, the catastrophe occurred in the wee hours of the morning. Ginger Alden, who was present during the moment of Elvis's passing, describes the sequence of events that led up to his passing. He had collapsed on the floor of the bathroom, where she found him motionless. He had suffered a heart attack and collapsed there. Elvis Presley was proclaimed dead at the age of 42, despite multiple attempts to bring him back to life. When Elvis Presley passed away, it was a shocking event that signified the end of an era. Millions of fans all over the world, who had grown up with his music and looked up to him as the king of rock and roll, expressed their sorrow at his departure. To add to the mystique and sorrow of Elvis's untimely dying, the circumstances surrounding his death, especially the fact that he was discovered on the toilet, add to the circumstances surrounding his death. Over the course of his life, the precise reason for his passing has been the subject of a great deal of conjecture and debate. Some people have said that he died as a result of abusing prescription drugs, while others put the blame on underlying health problems. His legacy lives on. In spite of the circumstances surrounding his passing, Elvis Presley's passing was a tragic loss for the whole music industry, as well as for his countless followers. Through his songs and the influence he had on popular culture, his legacy will continue to live on, ensuring that the rock and roll king will never be forgotten. The funeral service for Elvis, which took place on August 18, 1977, was a serious and emotional occasion. The procession made its way to Forest Hill Cemetery, where Elvis was laid to rest next to his mother Gladys. Thousands of admirers lined the streets of Memphis to catch a glimpse of the procession as it made its way there. In spite of the fact that he had passed away, Elvis's presence continued to be felt in the music industry. His recordings continued to sell successfully, and his influence on popular culture remained as powerful as it had been before. The years that followed Elvis's passing were marked by a number of honors and awards, including his posthumous induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, as well as countless other acknowledgments. Not only is Elvis Presley recognized as a musical superstar, but he is also regarded as a cultural phenomenon in this day and age. His one-of-a-kind combination of rock, pop, and country music altered the trajectory of popular music and continues to serve as a source of inspiration for musicians even now. Elvis may no longer be physically present, but his legacy will continue to live on. In light of this, we can now reach the conclusion. The upstairs part of Graceland, which includes Elvis Presley's bedroom and bathroom, is off-limits to the general public. This is done out of respect for his privacy and as a means of maintaining the sanctity of his memory. The restroom in which Elvis was discovered unresponsive has not been touched since his death, and this area has not been touched since his passing. The idea that visitors could be more focused on the circumstances surrounding Elvis's death rather than honoring his life and legacy is another factor that played a role in the decision to keep this location private. That's all for now. Be sure to smash that like button and turn on post notification to be the first to know when the next video is up.